I'm back again today to do a double book review. I read 2 books this week by Nicola Yoon, and I just loved them both, and I wanted to, I guess that's a spoiler, that I loved them both. I loved one more, but I really enjoyed both. The books in question are by Nicola Yoon. These books are so pretty, first of all. Like, whoever decided, I don't know if she decided on the artwork. I think her husband did the artwork for this and the doodles inside of it, but they're so pretty. I gotta make sure there's no glare. I just loved them. I like the everything cover better. If you want to see it more up close, there's all these like little doodles and stuff like that. It's so pretty, like all over, and there are doodles inside. So I'll just jump into it. This novel, Everything, 2 main characters. There's Ollie, the boy next door, and Maddie, who's the main character and who is our narrator. She is allergic to, when you first are trying to, when I was first looking at the description, I guess, I did mark 2 quotes in this one. I found, I'm trying to think of, I thought this was really unique, and I think young adults would like it. I, as an adult, really liked it. And, yeah, I would go with this one over the other one, but the other one was really fun, too. So, I think that's all I have to say. They're so pretty. Are they not so pretty? Yeah, other than that, I also got a little package in the mail today from Tease and Thank You, which I've done a haul video on and stuff. But look. It's a Harry Potter pin. I'm so excited about it. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. I haven't talked about that at all on my channel, but I just thought this was so cute. It was like $10, so it's a little bit expensive, but not really for an enamel pin. Isn't that cute? So cute. So yeah, I wanted to show that too. Okay, so I hope you have a good reading. Goodbye.